Hey everyone, before I start the final episode of Adventures of Mana, I wanted to bring up something. I was looking up Marcy's name for editing reasons, MRC91. I was wondering if that was a reference to the release year of this game in 1991 in Japan and the US. I'm going to assume it is because I haven't really seen anything about it, but as I was going, I saw this image. There's a screenshot there of a version of this game I've never seen. So I looked into it on Wikipedia, and I noticed that this had more release dates than I remember on the Final Fantasy Adventure page. I think I remember seeing these and I brushed it off as it being like just a port because it doesn't really say like a remake or anything on the side there. But scrolling down a little bit further, I see that it has been mentioned that yes, it is a remake for mobile phones in Japan, specifically ones with this kind of keypad. So playing it is not easy. It's not easy. I couldn't find any ROMs of this game because it's from 2006 on those kind of phones where you would have to find a phone with the game downloaded on it and then dump the entire phone contents, such as how they did it with Before Crisis Final Fantasy VII and Dirge of Cerberus Lost Episode, to name a few of those kind of games. I didn't find anything for this one, though. I did find a video series of the entire game played through on a website called Nico Nico, I think it was called. It's kind of privated there, though, now, but it has been re-uploaded to YouTube, and I'm going to post that in the description if you want to actually watch the entire playthrough of that version of the game. It's a neat watch. I actually did enjoy what I saw, but playing it, it's lost media at this point. You can't find it anywhere, sadly. And if somebody does happen to find it, let me know. I really want to play this version of the game. With that being said, here's the final episode of Adventures of Mana. Hey everybody, welcome back to more Adventures of Mana, where last time we went through the dreaded Temple of Mana and how many floors it has, and now we're at the floating antechamber, where Julius awaits. But we're not done quite yet. There is the best grind spot in the game. These elephants have a chance to drop the best shield in the game, which I definitely want, so I'm going to sit here and try to get it really quickly. Because there's a lot of them, so I'm going to be sitting there just attacking them like crazy until I get it. It is one of those enemies that you only get hit in the back yet again, so that's a little bit of a bother. But it's not that big of a deal because you can just sit here and attack them. Like 3 combos, more than likely good enough. And the amount of damage they do is kind of negligible at best. So just make sure that, again, you get off the screen before they all vanish, because if they vanish before you get off the screen, they're not going to spawn again, then you gotta kind of have to wait until they do. It's a little bit of a hassle. But again, this is also the best spot to grind as well, so just make sure that you beat everything and get to a point where you can just get off the screen before they like despawn. In this case, I missed it, but I still have this screen to deal with, so not a big deal. I would rather just use a standard sword swing for this because, again, I could just move right after that. So boop, there we go. Is there a third one? Yes, there's a third one. So I'm fine. So just whack, just a little bit of whack action. Come on, give me the shield. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. There we go. Heal. Give me the shield. And there it is, the Aegis shield. The best shield in the game, that even to a point where the name just works for it, and I like that they didn't even change it from the original. It blocks all weapon and magic-based attacks. I mean, I know I said that backwards, but it's still the best shield in the game. So now our stats are pretty much maxed out when it comes to having defensive stuff, but there's still one little thing left. So let's head north from here. And as you can tell, I only got 1 level up from doing that. I actually got it sooner than I expected, so not that big of a deal. So no one has to complain about me over-leveling or anything like that. I mean, it's fine. Just head over here, because I'm definitely not over-leveled. This game is kind of brutal when it comes to that. Trials you have overcome prove you a worthy knight. Take the holy sword and use her to vanquish Julius and put an end to his dark designs. You receive Excalibur, the Sword of Mana. So, Excalibur is the best weapon in the game. I mean, obviously, it's capable of delivering a 3-fold attack when wielded in motion. If we equip it, there we go. Our stats, 135 attack, 120 defense. I mean, it could be better if I level up, of course, but yeah, we're set. We got everything that we possibly need, so let's head forward. And if you haven't got the shield yet, you have more chances. You might not even realize that they have it, but more than likely you got the other stuff going through, getting it from the ninjas and the big blue heads. So either way, you got more than likely got all the best stuff in the game, and I would rather take the time to get them because they are definitely worth it. Especially in this game, because it can get brutal at times with just how much damage you take. Here we go, and we're just head around this, and then we head up. Fuji! Late as ever, I see. The ceremony has just come to a close. The Lady Fuji and I have been wed. And soon, the world will bow down to the might of the new Vandal. Not if I can help it! Fool! Witness the true power of mana as you drown in a sea of rage and despair. The battle against Julius isn't that hard, he just splits himself up into 3. So all you really gotta know is just attack them evenly until they go down. And once you get all 3 of them down, that's pretty much the battle. It's not that big of a deal. They don't do too much damage depending on like what attacks you hit them with. In this case, I'm pretty much done for the most part already. I just gotta make sure to hit them as much as possible. Just gonna line them up just right and whack whack. And that gets rid of those ones. So now I just wait for this one to stop doing this so I can hit him. Hit him. There we go. And he's down. You defeat Julius. That was but a fraction of my might. Are you ready for round 2? This battle isn't really that big of a deal either. What he'll do in the first phase of this form is he'll just cast magic at you or just die bomb kick at you. He does have 2 different phases, and after a little while, pretty much when he does this, and then after this, he'll swap over to his next phase. So during this, just attack him as much as you can, just get as much hits as possible, and then he'll just swap to what he does. In this case, he just lands, and then he'll attack you when you're close, and if you're moving around like this, if you're far enough away, he'll jump like this, and attempt to land on you and do some damage. That doesn't do that much, honestly, but as long as you're like moving constantly, you pretty much should be okay. So just make sure you're moving constantly, you're good to go. So just do this, and then a little bit of this. There we go. And he's down again. So I'll just do this a couple times. There we go. That was quite a few hits. Not enough to get rid of him. I think just maybe one more big swing ought to do it. In this case, a little bit of whack, and he's done. Sumo? The spell, it's broken! We did it, Fuji! Julius is no more! Or so you think. It all ends here, boy! This battle is rough, but thankfully we have Fuji. But I'm going to make sure to have all the good stuff equipped as much as possible, because if I touch him, I'm dead. No joke, if I touch him, I'm pretty much dead. So it's not that big of a deal there, but I'm gonna make sure I have this on as well, because that increases my vitality. That'd be kind of useful, so I'm gonna have that, and I'm gonna have my crystal active as well, just so I can get my limit break really quickly, and just make sure to have all my good stuff. In the meantime, have Fuji heal me. I'm gonna put this on so I have a little bit more health, and then heal as much as possible. Make sure to stay far away from him. And now, I think I used the crystal on accident, but that's fine, that's fine. I have a lot of health for this battle, I should be okay. So just go in and attack him from afar, make sure to not touch him and take a lot of damage during that. So just keep on the move, wherever he spawns, just make sure that you are away from him so you don't just touch him and then die. I lost my health already, so that's kind of not great, but again, Fuji can heal me, so make sure I have that active, stay far enough away so I just don't touch, because touching is bad. In this case, touching is very bad. Where are you spawning? Where are you spawning? You're spawning right there. I'm moving. There we go, and that's it. The tree of mana is lost. It's gone. What are we to do now? Fear not, my child. That voice. Mother? It is true, you were unable to protect the tree of mana. However, that does not mean a new one cannot be raised in its place. A new tree? But how? Do you remember when I told you that you and I were seeds? Even the tallest of trees begins its life from a tiny seed. From me, and now from you. Long ago, I watched helplessly as the Tree of Mana toppled at the hands of the Vandal Empire. So I remained here to right that wrong. You became the Tree of Mana! Yes, my dear. I set my roots down in this land and watched over the world as best I could. And now, you have a choice. To become the new tree and help see peace spread once again through the land, or to return to your former life and await the coming end. This, however, must be your own decision. None can force you to walk a path you have not chosen as your own. I have witnessed the plight of our ancestors. Their memories are mine. I am the last of my line, the last seed of mana. And if I were to wither and die, so too would the realm. Therefore, I shall stay and bear the burden. You must go now, Sumo. In moments, this shrine will return to the land so that a new tree might grow. Do not be sad. While my appearance may change, my heart and soul will live on. Sumo, you have awoken Excalibur. You are a true Gemma Knight. Will you give your oath to protect my daughter from evil, so that she might never become corrupted? I will. I have one last request. Before I gave myself to the land, there was a knight. Gamma Knight, who loved me with all his heart. His name was Sir Bogard. If you come upon him in your travels, tell him that I loved him too. Farewell. Fuji. Sumo. Goodbye. Goodbye. My love. A new sapling has sprung forth from the land, a sapling that will one day grow into the towering tree of mana. Were it to fall victim to corruption, it will mean the disappearance of peace from this realm for all eternity. And so it must be protected. This is your duty, your burden, as the last of the Gemma Knights. And that was Adventures of Mana, a one-to-one reimagining / remake of the original Game Boy game. I do find this way better than Sword of Mana, which was a complete reimagining of the game. A complete reimagining of the game to a point where they added way too much mana stuff and they kind of bogged it down because of that. They tried to expand the story. I do like that game, but honestly, I like the original a little too much. Call it nostalgia. But honestly, I think this remake nails it. Every single little step, it just nails. I mean, aside from it being like a mobile Android title / Vita game, it was going to come out on PS4, but they kind of canceled it and then they released Secrets of Mana on the PS4 and PC, as well as Vita. But honestly, I really do think this game just completely nails it. I really wish this game did get a console port because it would mean that a lot more people would have experienced this game because not a lot of people had the Vita. It is available on Android and iOS to this day, so it's still playable. And the touchscreen gimmick, it's not that bad. You can also plug in a controller and play it that way too on the mobile, so again, not that big of a deal. But yeah, I love the gameplay of this game. I like that you can actually move around, or you can just use a standard 8-way movement of a D-pad as well. You have all those extra shortcuts which just make things so much better. You don't have to go into menus to constantly switch out stuff. I love it for that, I really do. But the music as well. I mean, I could play the original music in this game and have the original music play, or I can have this remade music. And honestly, I think they nailed every single track. They did such a good job, and this game was slept on. I think a lot of people should experience this game because it was amazing. It still is amazing. I just wish that more people knew about it. And I don't even know if anybody knew about it until like Secret of Mana came out, like the remake of that. And I don't even know if people even knew about that one either. I mean, they did for the most part because it was Secret of Mana, but this one I think just blew under everyone's radar. I knew about it because I love this game, but I kind of pay attention to what they do, and I just think every second of it's amazing. It's really, really sad. There's a lot of sacrifice. I understand that. And even now in the credits, we say goodbye to our companion. So we are made to travel the world alone and protect the Tree of Mana as it grows from a seed.